Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Fallout Shelter Survival. How y'all doing out there in internet land? My goodness, what do we got going on today? We got, woohoo! Explore 12 locations in the wasteland for a Mr. Handy. And I actually have somebody out there right now taking care of that. We got to sell 300 weapons or outfits for a lunchbox and level up 10 dwellers. That one I'm probably going to do right now here soon here. But we got Miss Tammy Barton out there. And switched her out with Star Paladin Cross's outfit and gave her a nice big old gun and sent her on her way. She's already got 2 locations. She's only been out there for 46 minutes. I might bring her back and send her back out again because the longer you're out there, the longer it takes to get to each location, I believe. So it might just be quicker. We're not going to accomplish it probably in this. Well, we might. Maybe we can just split it up for two days. It's already Tuesday. I don't like to get these things out late, but you know how it happens. Oh, we got Mr. Pope Peter Harper out here. He's done in that room, but I got some stuff. Mr. Elder Lyons is just taking sweet old time building a ashtray or a birdhouse. I don't know what he's doing, but he's still almost done. He's almost fully done, and then we will put him back into the into there. How are we doing on our woo? Oh boy, we got to yeah, we need to get you back on the collection for a little bit. Okay, so we gotta, let's see here. Why? You know, that sucked. I didn't want to do that. Shit. Oh, my goodness. Well, you know what you're gonna get. You're gonna get... Damn it. I gotta be a little bit more judicious about this here. Guys, get it under control. Come on. Half of you are like fully... Jiminy Christmas here. Gonna waste all of our damn... Okay. Anytime now. Anytime now. Whew. All right. Well, that was wonderful. Maybe a little bit more careful. Can we do it? Yes! Woo! Okay. I don't like to do it in the video. I like to do it afterwards, but I want to get that done. We'll just wait for the next one to come through. So... Since last week, we've gained another 17, actually no, another 34, that was like 440,000 caps, now we're up to 474, 34,000 caps since the last video. That's a week, that's a week, that's a week, man. We are just kicking ass and taking names on that road to 999,000 caps. Now, what is our plans for, just like I said, keep pushing through the you know, workers, getting them done, just mounting caps upon caps upon caps, getting us ready so that we can really, you know, I have the 20 lunch boxes here to just plow through, and when that happens, the floodgates to Deathclaws will open, and then we will have to be prepared. So I want to make sure that there are some peeps ready to go. But as you've seen, probably there's a couple of videos coming out on Mondays that are not tied to Fallout Shelter Survival. Only video I tied to Steam on Fallout Shelter Survival was just showing you how to move your video or your save files from your Bethesda launcher location to the Steam location, so you can, you know, share those back and forth. And yes, normally I do not like to talk about the other videos or the other games I play inside this game or other games, but I'm going to do it anyways. I hate to do it, but I'm going to do it. Only for the simple fact that it is Fallout Shelter, and it is Fallout, and it is Bethesda, so that's the only reason why I'm really going that route. Now, okay, that's where my first leveling up happened. She leveled up first. Okay, that's where it was. I know I didn't have 9 people who needed to level up. It was only 8. Mainly what I want to do is just kind of like, just spitball some ideas here. Quite simply because I have not finished Fallout 4, and I've talked a lot about Fallout 4, and those other 2 videos are somewhat related in that sense, but they're the old Shelter 412 from the old days, and I was specifically getting certain achievements in Steam, and that's why I made it. They're really quick videos. They're 2, 3, 7-minute long videos. I think on Mondays they're going to be out where Prey was for a while. but the idea behind them is to just kind of give you the ideas of how to. There's a couple of achievements that are kind of hard to get, or not really hard to get, but they're somewhat unclear on how to get them, and I show you how to get them. That's what I do. But mainly what I want to just discuss is, and it ties into that other video because we talked a little bit about how to make Fallout Shelter better. The first video talking about how to move how to move your steamed pants, your steamed clams, whatever. Move your your PC saves over to the Steam client. We talked about, I talked about ideas for how to make Fallout Shelter better, and to that extent, I want to see, I'd like to see some feedback here on what you thought of Fallout 4 in general, because personally, I have not finished Fallout 4. I like Fallout 4 as a game. I am not really particularly that well sold on it being a Fallout game. It lacks a lot. I mean, it does bring a lot of new things to the platform and to the franchise. A lot of things that were not in previous games. However, they really didn't fix a lot of things that were in the previous games. There's still some major, and that comes with the territory of that's almost like we expect that kind of thing. We always expect the glitchiness, and I've had cows show up in signs and stuff stuck in different things. Just the cows in houses. How do they get in the houses? Just these weird things that happen. But mainly, what for me doesn't really why I don't like playing Fallout 4 primarily is because every time I try to get into it, every time I take some time, I want to sit down and just plow through the game and start getting back into playing the game, I am off on some other random save, the settlement damn quest, and I find myself retreading over ground I've already been to. I'm not finding anything new. Now, I did spend a lot of time going through the glowing sea, because I'm such a weird gamer in the sense that I don't like to use up things. I hoard stuff and I don't ever use them. Like, I will have 10,000 of one thing that is like pretty essential to playing the game. If you watch me play Prey, I hardly ever use the EMP. I hardly ever use the recycling charges. I hardly ever use this. I never used the Typhon lures. I play without those things. Because it's one more thing I don't really particularly care for. I like to stealthily walk around in the back, and then wait for them to come out and then kill them, instead of luring them into the open. But with Fallout 4, I was the same way with power armor. I have like 15 power armor sitting around the house in Sanctuary, just sitting there, some being worked on, some being just used for parts, and I have one that I mainly use. I was trying to get the X01 or whatever, the X1 Mark whatever. I know it's out there. It's going to take a while to get there. But it's one of those things where it's just like I have all these damn power armor suits and I never use them. So I started using them. I started going through the glowing sea and trying to find all that stuff. And then, for the most part, it was fun to play. But every damn time I do that, your settlement's under attack. And I hate that. That's the thing I hated about Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. You've heard me talk about that, and you've heard me talk about Grand Theft Auto 4. The things I hate are the things that drag you away from you playing the game. And I understand that that's an idea, that's a mechanic, that's something to add to the overall playability of the game. But it is a freaking annoying to have real life, interrupting things happen to you while you're playing a video game. We don't like that. I understand. It's a cool concept. Build your own settlement. Put all these things in there. Make a big city for your own. Have that and grip people there. That's great. But I think you went overboard with how many times you could do it, and then adding in multiple times you have to go rescue them. I suggest to you, Bethesda, that if you're going to do something like that, have one or two. Like, treat it like Skyrim treated the Hearthstone, where you could build certain locations and certain ones have benefits over the others. One near water, one near a quarry or something like that. So certain locations that are beneficial based on the idea of what they could possibly provide to your overall experience of, whether it be resources, weaponry stuff. Have specific locations be set up for specifically. And I know you could probably do that on your own, but it's not really that intuitive, and it's hard to build all that shit, and it's hard to get all of your stuff from one place to the other. You don't really provide the ability to carry stuff back and forth that well. There is a lot of, I mean, I have to go find stupid nails or one thing for a settlement, and I have to go check all my other settlements for it because I can never find the damn things. So it's, the scrapping was not very intuitive. It ran a lot of problems with me trying to figure out what was needed where, what was made of what. Ooh, clergy outfit. Big deal. What was made of what, what items could I use to scrap and how to use them. And and getting in and out of that, the UI, getting in and out of the workbench and, using the workbench, using the power armor, the wench and all that stuff. All those things they weren't really, they weren't fluid. They take a lot of tinkering around with to figure it out, and that sort of made it a problem. And while you're doing all that, and while you're figuring that stuff out, and while you're trying to make all those things happen, then you get called away because Preston Garvey says, "Oh, dude, you got to go take out some stuff." And I would have suggested those settlements, set them and forget them, get them built up to a certain point, and then make them self-sufficient, that you never have to worry about them, that they are always covered. You either have to keep going back in, and that's the thing, is I always have to keep going back in and putting down more beds, and I never have enough beds, or I never have enough room for beds. Just don't have the place for beds, and it's not exactly easy. Now, I mean, unless they're telling you that, for instance, the boathouse one, the one where you're like right on the water, not the boathouse one, but the one you're near the hospital, I think. You're down over the hill. I can't remember the exact location, but I don't know if it's Cambridge, but the one, it's got the hospital with the mutant, super mutants with the suicider on the steps, and then you come out towards the west, and then you go south along the road, and I can't remember the damn thing, but it's always the one that always needs something new. They are never happy. Oh. Get in there, Jesus. What the hell? Oh my God, how the hell did you not die? Okay, we gotta get you people fixed up. My goodness, how did that happen? Wow, didn't realize that was going on. Hey, and there's our 10th person. Yay! How close are you? Another 5 minutes. All right, a little break for that. Craft 10 weapons. I don't really have anything good to craft, though. I don't have anything I can... Here's the problem with that. We'll check it out, but I got 134 spaces. I've got nothing really that great. The stuff I can craft is not going to be great. It's just, and then just to get... I get 7 to 10. I only got one shovel, though. I only got one shovel for all of this shit. So let's kick that out. Actually, let's kick that out. It's for caps. We don't really care at this point. It's for caps. Equip 11 dwellers with a weapon. That I can do. Let's put you back in. Get you back up here. All right, let's arm these peeps. And then we go back through and arm them the right way. Oh, and where are you at, my friend? Right. Oh, are you... And I didn't really even give them good guns at the time. Luckily, they were able to take on with whatever I gave them. Let me get you back your enhanced sniper rifle. And you can keep your flamer. But we will get... Thank God you didn't get attacked. You had the other one, or somebody had the other... Oh, no. Let's find Elder Lions. You're in a switch with him. The victory rifle. He had the victory rifle. Yeah. Okay, we're getting there. All right. So, crap. Meanwhile, perform 13 critical hits. We can't do anything with that one. Okay, get your peeps up there. Get them in there. Let's go. All right. Meanwhile, we found the other location. Still at 2. Probably going to let that one go. I'll come back in tomorrow. But the other thing that really bothered me about Fallout 4 is that the whole redesign of the of the skills and shit, that just kind of broke. I mean, it's like I don't really have any idea of what I'm trying to accomplish with that, because everybody is, you can max out, but you have to keep going through and maxing out. It's and putting the no cap. There's like no purpose to playing the game a certain type of way. You can just get everything, I mean, and I know that's and don't get me wrong, they're giving us free will at that point. They're giving us the free will to go in and play the game how we want and max or not max out those items. Sell it. I don't care about that. Max out whatever stats we want, not. But there's no. They don't give you a lot of good options for that. The skill tree in Skyrim is pretty decent. Even the skill tree in Fallout 3 and the perks and all that stuff, that was really good. I think there's a really pretty decent skill leveling up of something, as far as I was concerned. The other thing that I hated was, and actually I found a lot. This is going to sound disingenuous because I read some criticisms of the game, and I pulled out ones that I agreed with, that I understood and I agreed with, and which kind of like makes me sound like a horrible, tag. I don't know the word I want to look for. Just hanger on of other people's works and other people's original thoughts. But these are my thoughts too, and I disagree with a lot of that stuff. There were a lot of times where I just wanted to not have to go through a dialogue session with somebody. I understand it's kind of an idea of saying, well, the option tree gives you a chance to use certain skills or whatnot. And like you have that option in Skyrim and you had that option in Fallout 3, in parentheses, intimidate or, skill check or, whatever it is. But it just seemed like you had yes, no, yes, yes, or yes, but with more money. And the color coding of those options. Well, you guys are gonna have to fight it. Boy. Yeah, at least you get 3 to do it. So I mean, it's just like they made it more of an action game. They made it really more of a game that it was relying on shooting and brute force than other types of other ways to accomplish things. One good example of how not so much they published it, they didn't create it. Prey. Bethesda was the studio, was the publisher of the game. Bethesda, boom. But it was Arcane Studios that made the game. And it had a lot of feeling of other Bethesda games inside of it. But they gave you specific choices that you could make. You can either become like the aliens, or you can go without doing with the aliens, or you could be, I mean, like they gave you specific things. Kill everybody. That, looking at the trophies, you kill everybody, use only these types of, the mods, the alien mods, or use none, or only use the human mods, or don't use any mods. They give you like the playability of it. And and maybe it's because they gave you that options that the game wasn't as long as it should probably have been, like compared to other Bethesda games like Skyrim, oh my gosh, and Fallout 4. Those types of games have a lot more content than there is choices in terms of what you can accomplish as in certain fashions. I mean, the game, it's wide open in Fallout. It's wide open in what you want to do. Skyrim, the same way. I can either be a mage, I can be a thief, I can be a bard, I can go through life doing whatever I want. But with Prey, they shortened up the game but gave you more playability. Fallout doesn't really give you the playability. My God, if I had to go back through and start a new game of Fallout, it would be painful to me. Because even though you start out and you get that first power armor within 3 quests of the game, you got a lot more going on, and it takes you a long time. I had been playing the game for over a year before I was ever able to attack. I don't know what the name. It's the junkyard, the house across the street from the junkyard where the super mutants are, and it's up near. It's near that city, that little dead end street that you turn into a settlement. I can't think of the names because I haven't played for so long. There's you have one. It's kind of like an odd angled street. It's basically like a parking lot next to a building, and it has a workbench in it, and that's about it. And you really can't do much there. But further up, there is a further north of there. I think maybe it's north. I don't know which direction it actually is. There is a location that has a band, like a grandstand stadium seating. Like there was some kind of like a rah-rah pep rally thing, and it had one of the there's a bunch of army vehicles there that like just are abandoned, and there's a locked up power armor. But then further down the road, there is just like a shit ton of super mutants, and there's actually it's kind of a neat little side story on it. When you go through and look around, where the people that had like the little shelter underneath the junkyard, and they're like hiding out there, and the family was in there, and it's kind of and there's like a built up thing with a crane. You have to move the crane around. That was kind of neat, and those are the little things I liked about the game. But it took me so long to get to that point. It took me a year after settling that area to be able to be worked up enough to go over and kill those super mutants and get the stuff in there. It was that hard sometimes, and that's just me as a gamer that had that trouble. But there are so many things that you cannot do until further down in the game, and you have so much stuff to do, and the choices of going through being the Brotherhood or the Underground Railroad, the Institute, all of that stuff, and my goodness. And it's just there's so many things that are packed into the game that you never will find. And I guess that leads to some playability, but the overall width and breadth of the game does not give me a lot of hope to restart that game from the beginning and play through to find all the things I missed. One of the articles was neat. They talked about the robot race, and I remember that. I remember going and finding that and thinking that was pretty cool. They see one of those assaultatrons just running around the track, like what the hell? But that was a neat little thing to see, and there's these little wonderful nuanced moments in the game where you have certain scenic areas that tell a story, like the pond with the different the parade of the parade of robots that come around, the fire safety and the police and the ambulatory and all that stuff. Like that's kind of neat. And then of course there's like a death claw in the one house, and there's ghouls everywhere. I mean, there are some great things. I like how they redesigned the ghouls. I like how that worked out. I liked the different style of death claws and that kind of thing. I just did not like that there was so much to do in the game that it prevented you from really exploring and getting in depth, because you were constantly drawn back out of that immersion to go handle some stupid housekeeping chore, like making sure that there was enough beds in the the drive-in theater, and making sure that they had enough water coming through. And it's like, give me a lot of options here. And to be able to, in order to get that, you have to unlock a hell of a lot of things to get there. That's the problem. You have to unlock a hell of a lot of things to be able to build up those settlements. So that's just my overall general feeling about Fallout 4. And I think that they need, as going forward, how to improve it is to just get rid of that idea and just localize it to a couple of places, not an overarching storyline about the settlement things. Yeah, that can be part of the quest, but make it be like a central location that's what you're doing. You're building that out. And then you can have little satellite locations that can provide you those items. Because it's great. It was great to see Boston. It was great to see that American Revolutionary thing. We had the whole, Cold War 50s sci-fi space thing with Fallout 3. And this one brought in like the Revolutionary War and all that stuff. I would be great to see them go somewhere else, maybe to England or maybe to... Could you imagine? Oh my gosh, think about this. Think about this. Fallout, the next Fallout, or at least one of the Fallout series taking place in like Japan. Where you have the Fukushima reactor that you had that whole thing. Also, power armors, samurais. Think about robot, samurai robots, samurai not Mr. Handies, but Mr. Gusties or like that. But just think about samurais coming down on you with a samurai sword, looking like the red Omega Red or not Omega Red, no, but like the Silver Samurai or whatever. Think about those types of. That's kind of a neat idea there. Get out of his way, dude. I need to heal him. I need to heal him. He's gonna die otherwise. Y'all need to get better working on this stuff. I know I got. There you go. That helps. So I think we're gonna pick it up on day 2 with getting her. She's got 4 locations now. She's doing quite well. See how she does. I might bring her back and then send her back out again, and we'll go from there. But yeah. So those are just some quick ideas or not quick ideas. I kind of rambled along a while there on ideas for Fallout 4. If I think of anything else in the next 12 to 15 hours, I'll jot them down and hopefully bring them back to you. But otherwise, let's just keep it on rolling till the next day. See you in a bit. All right, we are back in it. And we brought Tammy back in, sent her back out. She's found 11 of the 12. She found 10 on her first trip out. I just sent her out 16 minutes ago, and she's already found the other one. So she's probably going to find the next one in the next 16 to 20 minutes. Hopefully it won't take that long. But that will get us a Mr. Handy. It's craziness. Assign 10 dwellers to the right room. All right, I kind of set this one up ahead of time just because I could. But as always, assigning dwellers to the right room is always essential to maximizing your output and your bonuses and whatnot. As you can see here, Mr. Mark Walker, Texas Ranger, he's got a 10. Yeah, I leveled him up in perception, so he has got the right suit on and he's got the right skill set. Him going there, that's what we do. Same thing here with Emily Walker. She's got a maxed out agility. She's wearing the right outfit, and then you can see the green corners around the room. That means she's in the right room. Same thing here with Adam Wilson, and you see where I'm going with this. I kind of set this up just to show you. Here, Douchey McGee, Jesse Taylor, one of my favorites. He has got fully maxed out stats on everything, and he's also wearing a good outfit. And there's the Mr. Mysterious Stranger. He's in that room, and it's making it rain. Mel Grant, highest stat in his, and we will put him in that room. And then we got Miss Frances Simmons. She is fully maxed out on everything. I'll put her up in here. Same thing with Diane Bowman. She is fully maxed out. Got a good weapon. Got a good outfit. We'll put her up in there. Mr. Harry Hancock. Up, and she found the last location. And we got another Mr. Handy. Holy crap, dude. We are swimming in Mr. Handies. I can't help it. I mean, this is, again, I say, why would you spend real life money on these games when they have everything you need in them? It's just a matter of taking your time and not, we got to collect all that power in under a minute. Holy crap, dude. Alrighty. That gets us all 10, and everything is just coming up. Booyah. Shibuya roll call. Let's see here. Let's get it done just real quick. Hopefully that's going to be enough. And this one, come on, come on, come on, go, go, go. I know I had 8 seconds, but I want to get it in before that minute's up. There we go. Oh, and we got 2 Nuka-Cola Quantums. I didn't get a chance to go look at it. Collect 24,000 caps on quests. Well, we're not going to get that one done anytime soon, so we're going to go get rid of that one. But I can spend a little bit of money. I mean, we almost got 490,000 caps. I can spend a little bit of money on just merging 3 rooms together. So let's just build a 1, a 2, and there's a fire already, and it's just going to burn itself out. No, it won't actually. It's going to hit. Oh, well, it's going to hit. It's only going to hit one room. It's going to matter. It's going to be this one. So we'll get prepared for this. Get ready, boys. Get off the treadmill and grab a fire extinguisher. There you are. Alrighty. That one's still going to burn out, but it's no big deal. It's just boom. Alright, and then build another one. Actually, no. You know what I'm going to do? Because it'll save a little bit on caps. Let's see here. Let's just do this one here. Boom. Boom. Get out of there. Come on, get off the screen so I can kill this. And then boom. I don't know if it's because of the... I haven't really figured out what the trigger is for why the rooms go up in price when you're building the first one. Maybe it's because you already have... Like, after so many, it starts to accumulate. I don't know if it's the level at which you build it. I haven't figured that out yet. I haven't done enough testing on that. After, 2 years, 3 years, you think I would have. But I haven't. So, there you go. And what does that do for us? We've got... Claim that one. Stop 5 mole rat infestations before they spread. I'm going to get rid of that one because I still cannot make that one work. We've had it before. I can't make it work. It's only for 280 caps. I don't care. I would rather keep this the quests for the 3 Nuka-Cola Quantums, although I can't do it. But and then nobody there. Oh, well, Mr. Handy's going to go take it on. Oh, yeah, but speaking of Mr. Handy, we got to go get the other Mr. Handy at. Where's he at? Did we... Oh, we got to go... That's where we got to go indoor. I just want him. Mr. Handy. Hello, children. I am Mr. Handy, at your pleasure. Yep. So we were talking about Fallout, the game and what you could do to improve it the next time around and that kind of thing. And, I mean, it is what it is. I'm not going to, get too wrapped around the axle on it because it's already been, 3 years now since the game's been out. So it's not like it's going to change. It's going to be probably another 3 years before the next version comes out, Fallout 5 or whatever they plan to do. Like I said, though, man, could you imagine samurai power armor suits or samurai, evil robots coming after you? In Japan, or even go into like you have to think of something. One of the things about the appeal of Fallout is its use of nostalgia or propaganda or Americana kind of things. We had, like I said, Fallout 3. You had the Uncle Sam imagery and the 50s Red Scare and the actual nuclear atomic age propaganda posters and all that stuff and everything, and the annexation of Alaska and stuff like that, Operation Anchorage and all that. I mean, that touches into a sense, especially it ties into the way the alternate history of Fallout works. And the same with Fallout 4, it ties into that Americana of the Revolutionary War and Boston and New England and that whole thing, and Paul Revere and everything that that's involved with that. So I mean, there is definitely a sense to keep that thread going. But the issue though is that you are running out of those areas, those eras, because and like I said, I have never played New Vegas, and it wasn't a strictly a primarily a Bethesda property. It was done by Obsidian, a studio that was just published under the name of Bethesda, but it was done by somebody else. I don't remember if it had a lot of the old timey Western gold rushing kind of like feel to it. It was set in and had the Vegas feel to it. That's it really doesn't fall along the aforementioned theme, but you don't really have a lot of other venues for that type of thing. I mean, what are they going to do? The Civil War? They can't do that. That would take a lot of meticulous planning and to not sound tone deaf about it. There's a lot there you can't touch, really. I mean, there really is, especially in today's climate. You just can't do that. You really don't have anything else then. I mean, you really don't. I mean, you've already touched the Revolutionary War. You've touched World War II and the Atomic Age. I think what they need to do is they need to go, I really want to see them tackle another area of the world and their historical thing, like Japan and feudal Japan and that kind of thing. Or even, it's back to that World War II idea, Great Britain, World War II. There's a huge swath of history to cover in that era, especially when you think about the bombings of London during World War II. And man, go read, if you've never read it, go read Slaughterhouse-Five or even watch the movie or whatever. And you can see, you get that sense of, what it was like. I mean, the bombings, the shellings of London and the destruction, that would just be tremendous amount of that despondent isolation, despair that you got when you played Fallout 3, when you're out wandering around the wasteland. And to think about, you have all of England and Scotland. You could have a Mr. Handy with a Scottish accent. You could have whatever. You could do anything like that. There's a lot to be done there, and you could touch on the whole keep calm and carry on theme. I mean that's all that propaganda. It plays right into Fallout and Bethesda's wheelhouse with that kind of that idea. I think that would be perfect. Hell, I'd love to see that for we had. To diverge into another game, like I hate to do, but I'm going to do it. Grand Theft Auto London had, what was it, 1969? It was like the third Grand Theft Auto. It was just a offshoot property for that. They touched on that. I really think that we need to take Grand Theft Auto to the next level and put it in a different location and get away. I mean, I love San Andreas. I'd love to see Grand Theft Auto 6 be Vice City again. And bring back the 80s again with it, because oh my god, I loved Vice City, just for anything else, just the feel and the music of it. But you didn't have a lot of map to work with. You had two areas of map, and that was about it. And I don't know what they'll do if they have to redo it. I mean, they redid Liberty City for Grand Theft Auto 4, but I don't know if they'll do that for Vice City. I just don't know. But to not get too down the rabbit hole, but to do London and or Japan, even do like the drift kind of idea, like the Fast and the Furious Tokyo drift, that go into that era or that that type of, and you got to be careful again, because you can get there's a lot of stereotypical cliched notions in Grand Theft Auto 5 and Grand Theft Auto 4 and Grand Theft Auto 3 for that matter, that was sort of and San Andreas especially, that was used as played up as somewhat as an overblown exploitation of what that lifestyle was like. And you could do that with, I don't know if you could do that with Japan. I don't know if you'd want to. That might come off rather racist, but I think it would be good to see a different location, to give something to somebody else. But we got, Red Dead Redemption coming out. So there's going to be a long time before we see another Grand Theft Auto. So the one last thing I do want to talk about with Fallout, and I've seen it now because it's a big thing in Bethesda, and I worry about it because it's already become an issue with Fallout 4, and it's become an issue with Skyrim, and that's that Creation Club. And look, we know that game companies are really, they're trying to make a buck, and I mean, they're capitalists, and you cannot blame them for that. You cannot blame a company for wanting to make money off their property. That they're expensive, and you wonder why games cost $60 nowadays, and it's because of all of the, it's not, and not have all of the content that you think it's going to have, but the marketing, the licensing, the the production teams, all the people that go into putting that together, and everything else that that's nowadays, and the hardware, especially when you think about a game like Grand Theft Auto 5 that has multiplayer, and you have to have some kind of way to pay for all those servers and whatnot, that infrastructure to maintain that environment. Yeah, that money's got to go. That got to go something. I mean, there's huge profits to be made, but I can understand why games have to be so much. But I don't understand why games have to be that much, and then on top of it, to get more content, you have to pay more money. Either release the game in its entirety, or and have the price reflect that, or you reduce the price of the games, and then you allow for, if you want to have this extra stuff, but it has to be separate. It has to be separate from the experience. You have to be able to complete the game in its entirety without having to pay extra money for. Otherwise, you are gouging, you are extorting, and you are basically just robbing people blind. We saw it with the loot crates. I mean, we saw what happened with Battlefront 2. I'm glad I didn't buy it, because apparently we know what happened there. Same thing with Battlefront 1. And now Creation Club with Bethesda, and they're like, you can have these things, but you got to pay for them. That's a bit much. It's not right. You either, and I understand at this point now, Fallout 4, you've had all the DLC come out. You've had everything you can do in Fallout 4. So now this is just cool stuff. But for console users, and I can understand why you would want to have it, because you have to maintain certain things about it. But the idea is that we are paying money for a game once, and then we are paying again for other stuff that we should have added, shouldn't have to pay for to add on to it. Grand Theft Auto's horrible about that. I mean, they really jack up. I mean, it got to the point in Grand Theft Auto where I could not continue playing the online version because I can't do anything by myself, and you have to have other people play it. But they make it so that it's damn near impossible to do anything without having to be in certain lobbies and whatnot, and have certain things. And I mean, you can jack around with that, but if you have other people, it's kind of hard to do that. So it becomes an issue of you have to pay more money to get on the same level, and that's just it's not right. Well, I'll have an entire discussion. I can have an entire discussion about how they do that, how they manipulate you into buying more things because they jack up the price. Like, oh, you want this car? It's $3 million, and there's no way you're gonna get $3 million because you have everything else you want to do. So, oh boy, this Mr. Handy's not going to last much longer. He is going to die. He is going to die. Where are we at with the... Oh, we are... You know what? We got to get this thing done. We got to get this done and get it out of here. Let's send some peeps down there. I'm going to regret this. I know I am. Let's send some peeps down there to help them out a little bit. So we're not here all day long just talking about them. I got things to do. I got to get this video out. It's already 11 o'clock. Holy crap, dude. I usually have them out before now. And yeah, so there we are. All right, took care of that. So, that's all we got going on today. It's another beautiful day in the vault, and we're gonna just keep working on our stuff here, and then hopefully we'll get all of our peeps down here trained up more so I can start cycling things out, and then we'll make that push. I know I keep saying it like it's gonna happen, and it's gonna happen. We're just not doing it very fast. But we're not doing bad, though. So I can only tell you that we are on the right path. And I don't think you need to be... let's see here. Oh, yeah, I want to put them back in the right outfits. Yeah. You need to be wearing your outfit. You need to have your right weapon. There you go. Alrighty. That's all for today. Hey, thanks for watching. If you like what you see, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, give me some comments, and share with your friends. Have them all come back, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.